I think it's going live. I think we're live, Blair. I'll just check. Welcome to my stream again.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Thank you. I'll just confirm that we're live. I think we are. Oh, no, I don't think we're live. I don't think we're going to go live. Hang on.
It says live 23 seconds. I'm pretty sure we're on.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. All right, we're live. So, we're a bit early. We'll just have a bit of a chat about the chat. So, Blair, first off, I see some comments in here. One thing, you don't do leg day. Do you skip leg day, Blair?
Really? We're going to open with that.
Well, that's the comments. All right. We'll get back to that later.
Legs. I'll show you.
Do you do legs? All right, that's legs. I don't understand leg day, but all right. There's another comment here. Stop hiding your baldness, Blair, with your fringe.
Bald. Plenty of hair there, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you something. Those comments weren't actually in the chat. I just made that up.
Right.
But I have seen them written before.
Yeah, right.
All right, we've got a question here. Why doesn't Blair go on Tim Wilms anymore?
Tim who? I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Tim around lately. We still talk sometimes, but actually he did ask me to come on. Sorry, Tim, if you're watching this. Sorry I didn't get back to you. Yeah. I try to share like my time with everyone equally. Try not to play favorites, but everyone knows that I love Neil.
Sometimes. So we're getting some people coming into the stream now. Thanks for Blair for sharing it. He's got the biggest reach on Telegram. They're claiming you're wearing a wig as well. No, you just can't win, man. You can't.
I actually hate this haircut. I got my haircut at the last protest I went to by a chap from the country. I don't know if it's the country, but it's like out west somewhere, which West Melbourne, like western suburbs. I'm not familiar with, like past Geelong. But yeah, some guy and his family came in. He flagged me down at one of the protests. He was like, "Mate, I'll cut your hair for you if you want to do it one day. Just let me know." A few weeks later, I caught him at the protest, sat in a park and did it. So yeah, it was not an illegal haircut, because I don't think it's illegal to get a haircut in public, but it would be illegal for me to go into a barber with a registered business number and get a haircut. So yeah.
No, I think it is illegal. I think at the start of the lockdowns, when people were doing it out of their garages, like those women who have the the hairdressing scholarship, they finish it. They started having heaps of haircuts at their home addresses. And if you pass, I think, money over to someone, it's classed as illegal.
Yeah,
so
well, I did.
You might have been wrong.
I didn't pay him. I tried to pay him, but he wouldn't take the money, which made me feel bad. I said to him, actually, stop being so fucking white. What's with white people and not wanting money? I mean, I suppose I'm white and I don't really care about money, so I'm just another offender. But yeah, we should be making money from each other, passing it to each other through business with each other, or whatever. Everyone seems to be awkward about money, all us Aussies. We don't want to ask for money. We always undercut ourselves. Yeah, that's something we can talk about later, maybe.
But we'll speak about that later. Go on, Blair.
What other subjects we got? What are we streaming about?
So I think we're going to talk about the freedom protests. We're going to be talking about the freedom ball. I've got a few comments about that. I think you do too, Blair. I'm going to be talking about Sewell's release. Tom Sewell getting released from maximum security prison. And just questions in the chat. So chuck a question in, guys, because we usually run out of things to talk about. But hang on, I just got a cough. But I think we should start off with, what do you want to start off with, Blair?
The ball.
Yes, the ball.
I heard today that there was a freedom ball, meaning a dance and a dinner in Sydney, was it? And I didn't hear about this until today. was brought up in a phone call I had with someone. And so I looked into it and I thought, the fuck is this? A black tie event where you can pay $500 to have a VIP dinner with people like Avi Yemeni and that like Aussie Cossack, that fat guy from YouTube. Like, who did that? Who paid that money to those people for that? These are people with a YouTube. These are people with a YouTube account, and half the country is without a job unless they're being vaccinated. People have lost money. People are killing themselves over these forced vaccine mandates, but we're having a black tie $500 a head VIP dinner as part of a freedom ball. Like, what kind of petty bourgeois crap is that? I saw this and I thought, wow, yeah, great way to disassociate yourself from the working class. You know. Anyway, what do you think?
Look, I've got nothing really. Like, I mean, insane. I've got nothing against Arby. Yeah, he's a grifter. We all know that. But I was kind of surprised.
That's what I said to my friend on the phone too. I said, you know,
is Arby involved?
I said, well, first of all, anything. Look, I think Avi Yemeni is a funny cunt. Yeah, I actually enjoy him. I still remember when he was getting 5 views on Facebook as a, fresh upstart trying to jump into the political scene, and he was very awkward then, but he developed himself quite well and quickly. He rode everybody's coattails into the public sphere. He did what he had to do to get into everybody's field of vision. And I think he's a funny guy to watch. He's actually a funny cunt, but he is the king of grift. So I asked this friend of mine. He said, "What do you think, Blair? What do you think? It was the Freedom Ball a grift?" And the first question I asked was Avi Yemeni there? And they said yes. And I said, it's a grift. So that was it. And like I watched some scenes from it and that, and I don't know, man. 2 pieces of advice I can give you. Yeah, if you're somebody that watches, influencers on social media looking for alternative opinion and that, don't give your money to influencers. Don't give your money to them. You can if you want, but I wouldn't if I was you. When they're sitting in the back of a cop car saying, "Oh my God, I'm being charged, send money quickly for my legal fund." Don't give them your money, right? There's no transparency. You don't know what they're going to use it for. These people, I don't know why people give money to these influencers. Like, they're not doing anything. They're sitting in front of a camera speaking words. And you're like, "Oh my God, so true. How can I throw my money at these people?" Save your money. Believe me. Keep watching if you want, but don't give them your money. And second of all, just because you see someone on your screen and you like what they say, what they're saying is resonating with you, it doesn't make them special. I'm not special. I'm just a guy from the suburbs. I'm a carpenter. Right? I went to a public school and left at 14 years old. I'm nobody. I didn't even have an education. And I've got people messaging me, asking me, "Blair, how can I donate to you? How can I send you money?" I say, "Mate, I don't want your fucking money. Save your money. Put it towards something, that's useful to you, especially since we're going to be facing hyperinflation in this country, probably in the next year. Wait for it. It's going to be really bad. You're going to be struggling to afford food. Everyone in this country is going to go from planning their next holiday to planning how they're going to eat for the next 3 days, And what are we doing in the meantime? Paying $500 for VIP dinners with the Aussie Cossack and Avi Yemeni? Fuck that, mate. Wisen up. So that's just some general advice for the average content consumer out there on the internet.
Oh, jumping off there for a second. I've got a court case coming up, guys. If you can give me some donations.
Don't give Neil your money, especially not this guy. Especially not this guy.
I'll tell you your fortunes. But look, in saying that, I look at it like this. I just think it was a retarded move. What the fuck, man? Like, most of the supporters are regular working class Aussies that wear wife beaters, wear high vis. The hard workers lost their job. There's been, I don't want to mention the word on the stream, maybe not, self-terminations people have gone through. And they're watching a ball where these people are acting. They're actors, man. And, these people don't need money. And I worked out the ball. I think we worked out the numbers. The ball to pay for all the drinks for all the guests there would have been about $5,000. There was 10 tickets for $500. So the people who paid for the tickets just paid for the ball, pay for the whole thing. And look, it's not that bad if that was it, but the amount of money that these people have received over the past 6 months. It's close to $500,000. Like, where's that money going? They get free legal representation. They get money. Like, where's that case that Avi had where he was asking for donations to sue Victoria Police for detaining him? This was like 2 years ago. I think he got $160,000. What's going on with that case?
Yeah, right. Well, look, think about it this way, right? I never made a living off being someone who creates influence, gives perspective, right? Because you lose your freedom to speak your mind and say what you need to say. Why? Because you become financially beholden to your audience, and a certain message ends up generating more money and more donations for you, right? More sympathy. So you need to keep on speaking that same message in order to keep the funds rolling in. If what you're doing is like shock value entertainment, then you need to keep upping the ante and be more shocking and entertain people further in order to keep the cash flow going. So as a content creator, it locks you into a specific type of content, a specific type of speech, creating a specific type of brand, right? And I never wanted that. I wanted to talk about what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to just tell the truth and speak my mind. I don't want to be financially beholden to my audience. That's why I don't want money. I don't ask people for money. So you should always be aware of people who are constantly trying to find a way to get you to donate to them, right? Like, people shouldn't be making a living off sitting on a computer and speaking to a camera. That's not work. That's not what work was the way I was raised anyway. Right? Like I was raised as a carpenter. And anyone who says, "Oh, Blair's asked for money before," I asked for some legal funds a couple of times. I was dragged through court for 3 years, and I ended up spending all my own money on it because I hardly had anyone donate, because I didn't feel comfortable asking people for money for that, right? So like
the difference is we didn't get anywhere near the funds. We're talking about a couple of $100 here and there to help pay for a lawyer's bill. We're talking with them. We're talking like hundreds of thousands of dollars, man. Like, I understand lawyers are expensive, but they're not that expensive for the crimes that they're alleged to have committed. If you're in a murder trial, you could cover that money in a murder trial. And
can you, just before we continue, can you hear me? Because when you're speaking, you're kind of breaking up and shit. Am I doing that to you?
Nah, I can hear you perfectly. It's probably just my mic.
Yeah, right. I was thinking it might be the Wi-Fi or something. Anyway,
continue. Is my mic all right, guys?
Yeah. So anyway, just to wrap it up, the Freedom Ball, what an embarrassment that was, man. Like I said, great way to create a rift between yourself and the working class. It was just cringe. All these people acting like they're important political figures. They're just people with YouTube accounts. Even Craig Kelly, oh, he's a parliamentarian. He's a member for parliament. He's just a flesh and blood person like anyone else. All these people, man, like this Aussie Cossack guy, you can see the likes and the views going to his big fat head. You can, yeah. I think the guy's about as genuine as his wife's love is for him. Like he's just in it for the likes. He's in it for the subs. You can see it in their eyes, man. So be careful. Be careful of these fucking people. And they're all safe, right, too. They're trying hard not to be racist. They're trying hard to remind everyone that it's really Aboriginal land. And we're not against the gays, and we're not sexist.
You know what that is, because they want maximum support. That's what that's about.
But you get maximum support. You get maximum support by not saying this at all. You get maximum support by saying this is what you're for and this is what you're against, and you don't take sides on anything else. That's how you get maximum support. Don't let people goad you, coerce you, pressure you into taking sides on things, because that's what thins out your support base and narrows the scope of your audience. To me, that's just common sense. But these people are just like all emotional about it. They're like, oh, I have to support Aboriginal people, and I have to say that I support gays, and I have to prove that I'm not racist. You're a goose if you do that.
Yeah, look, I didn't want this to come across like we're just looking for something to bag them out about. But the reason it's come out now is I've kept my mouth closed about it for a while, and I'm sure you have too, Blair. But there's been a bit of infighting over that ball. I've seen a lot of genuine old school.
It was a bad idea. The whole ball was a bad idea. Have a barbecue in a park and invite everyone. What's this petty bourgeois $500 a head VIP dinner bullshit? This black tie event. I'm a working class boy, and I'm not interested in shit. No one's interested in that shit. Only the fucking upper echelons of the political class, the middle class, can even afford that shit right now.
Yeah, look, I think it's dying off too. And at the end of the day, I don't want to black pill anyone, but really, the freedom protests have been great. But have they accomplished anything, Blair? Like in the long term?
Oh, they'll never accomplish anything in terms of political process, political result. Meaning, your parliamentarians, your members of parliament, when they see, you got to put yourself in their position, right? These are people who hate the working class. They hate you. Your so-called representatives don't give a shit if you rally on the street. They're looking at you and they're bitter, they're resentful, they laugh at it. You can't actually make them do anything. If you think you can stop the bill or get these MPs to do anything by protesting, you're extremely naive. The benefit of the protests is just community, networking. I've met some great friends, lifelong friends, even girlfriends through protests, just through common interests, right? You network with groups, you network with people, you enjoy the day. And like you build
I noticed you said girlfriends.
Huh?
You said girlfriends with an S on the end.
Yeah, I've met
do you want to correct it? Do you want to correct it, the record?
Well, I met my current girlfriend at one of these events, but, you know, there was others before her. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with saying that, is there? Is there? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm safe. I'm in the clear. It's all good. Yeah. But, like I said, you're not going to get any result from Parliament, from protests. Daniel Andrews would look at these protests and laugh at you and just go harder. Like, his response to you guys protesting, whatever he's doing, is just to go harder in spite of you. But the benefit is just community. It's uplifting. It has an uplifting effect. It makes people feel like they're not alone. And that's really important for a lot of people, because I've noticed, man, a lot of people right now are just depressed. Like, a lot of people seem to be genuinely depressed and feel like they have no direction, no purpose. They feel like they're not represented. They don't know what to do with themselves, especially people who are choosing not to get vaccinated, right? And people need something to be a part of. They need something to believe in. They need to believe that there's some hope for them in the future, some reason for them to keep engaging with society. Personally, I don't even want to engage in society, right? But it doesn't get me down. I'm not depressed. But yeah, the main benefit of the protest is community. You're not going to get any actual result from it in Parliament. So don't kid yourself. Don't get down. If you want to protest some bill, the bill's going to go through anyway, every single time. The bill's going to be, the government gets more power and you have less every single time. But don't let that get you down, because you go to the protest to network with people, to bond with people, and for the purpose of like building community.
Yeah, so basically it's not a money machine. It's not to make political change. It's basically just a network with other like-minded people to create a community kind of atmosphere, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. You meet people. You see like-minded people. You see that you're not alone. You see that there's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all across the country that suffer the same concerns you do, you know? That you see, if you sit at home watching television like the state wants you to do, you feel like you're on your own. It feels like, oh, everyone's against you. It feels like popular opinion is against you. But then when you go out to these protests, you see the opposite. You see, hang on, everything that they're trying to tell me on television is a lie. There's actually hundreds of thousands, millions of people across this country who are feeling the exact same way I am. So I'm not alone. And out of this, I think we can build something out of it. I'm not sure what it is yet. I don't have all the solutions. I'm not the fucking messiah. And let me tell you, anyone trying to present themselves right now as having all the solutions and having all the answers, they're trying to mislead you, because no one knows what the fuck's going on, especially not from the working class. People, you know, with no money, no resources, and no political, you know, connections. People like us, we don't know what's going on. But out of this, I think we can start to figure it out and we can build something. I'm just not sure what it is yet. But keep showing up at the protests, stay politically engaged, keep your chins up, stay healthy, stay strong, and we'll move forward somehow.
We've got a question here, Blair. Have they achieved anything other than stroke their own egos and line their own pockets? I think we kind of addressed that. I think the freedom protesters, but look, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of these freedom leaders that actually aren't in it for money. There's a lot that have kind of been forgotten about and who have spent time in prison. There's been some who have spent time in prison and haven't asked for money. But this man, Rocky Dennis, guys, I donated $350 to Monica's criminal defence. I've requested a refund. It has not been received, and
I don't know what's going on with Monica's
like me.
defence case.
He's 65-year-old pensioner.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. I don't know. I can't comment on that. As far as I'm concerned, it's an ongoing matter. I personally wouldn't give my money to her or to anyone else on the internet, right? But she's already made a shitload of money from it. What she does with that money, I hope she uses it for the right purpose. I think Monica and Morgan, I've met Morgan, spoken to him. I think his heart's in the right place. I think he's a good guy. That was my initial impression. I'm generally not wrong about people, but I could be. I don't really know the guy that well. So I don't know. You do what you want to do. Just be careful with your money, because I know I've been in this scene, influencing people, in the scene of creating content, influence, whatever you want to call it. And I've seen what these people do, right? Even if their intentions start out as genuine, when they start seeing dollar signs in their eyes, like greed, man, greed just grips people by the hair on their heads, and like it changes them. So when they start realizing they can make a living off your naivete and off your goodwill, most of them will do it, right? So just keep that in mind. Let's check out the comments. I haven't read any of the comments yet. There's nearly 200. Usually they're all coming from the same group of people. Oh, no, there's a whole bunch this time.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Max Egan, mate. He did a great video the other day. I don't know if you know of him, Blair, but he's an old bloke
from the country. Yeah, I think I've seen him.
Yeah, he's very intelligent. And he made a really good video the other day about Bossy, which was something to check out. But if you've got any questions that stick out at you, Blair, I'll chuck them up on the screen. Yeah, possibly. I spoke to
Thomas Sewell's out of prison.
Yes, he is.
When I heard that, I heard it from, who did I hear it from? You, I think. I think Neil called me and said, Tom's got bail. And I said, how long ago? Neil said, about an hour ago or something, or 2 hours ago. And typically when you get bail, you get bailed from the courts in Melbourne. And that's what I assumed happened. And I was in Doncaster with a colleague, just, seeing to some tasks. And he lives in that general region. So I was like, I went to his house. I was just standing at the front gates, but it didn't look like anyone was there because I wanted to see him. But then Neil told me, no. He's still at Port Phillip prison because they do video link now because of COVID. So the courts aren't even in operation. So I haven't spoken to him yet. I don't even know his number anymore. I think he blocked me on Telegram too, probably for good reasons. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with him at some stage. I'd like to hear how he went in there. I saw the stream that he did. But I don't know. A lot of what I was hearing was just irrelevant. Like, I just care about my friend and I want to hear about how he went in prison. Like, I want to speak to him. So like, I ended up just like clicking out of the stream, and I scrubbed through it later just to find the bits of him actually talking about his experience. The rest of it I just found irrelevant. So yeah, like it seems like he did some hard time in there, man. To be in isolation that long. And I know the kind of guy Tom is. He's got a strong mind, but still different. He's still got a mind that might not. I don't know. I don't want to say he wouldn't cope with it. He seems to have coped with it well, but he's done some hard time in there. To be alone in isolation that long in a unit full of people who have committed offences which aren't very moral. No criminal offences, strictly moral, but you understand what I mean. Protection prisoners, usually are the sort of bottom of the barrel when it comes to criminals. And this is the unit that he was in. Not that he had to mix with these people specifically; it didn't seem that way. But
no, yeah. It wasn't protection. Charlotte, I don't think is protection.
Right.
I think it's like major isolation. So like,
punishment. Charlotte's the slot, isn't it? Charlotte's where you go for. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, that's my mistake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Charlotte is. I think
he first went into somewhere like that when he first got in there. I think he was in there for 6 weeks, and then they moved him to Charlotte. But Charlotte is where, like, I think all the people who don't behave go.
Yeah, no, you might be right. You might be right. It's just like it's isolation of that. Because I remember some of the guys, younger guys, when I was in there, they went to Charlotte when they were acting up. I'm pretty sure. I just remembered that. So yeah, no, you're right.
Because protection is a form of mainstream. Protection, you're actually in there with other dudes that are in protection. And when the guards were telling me, because they were telling me, and Sewell was next to me, I think he was in the same boat. They're like, we can't even put you in. Not that I was asking, but they're saying we're worried about you or Africans and Muslims, etc. They go, we can't even put you in protection because there's Muslims in protection. We don't know what to do, and that's why I was laughing when I was sending mail out that they're going to have to make a whole white unit, like an NS unit or something, because they didn't know where to put us. So that's why they've left Sewell in isolation, because they're also worried that he was going to radicalize prisoners, which I think is a big possibility. When I was in mainstream, I didn't even have to say anything, and the prisoners were going off about not being able to have bacon and shit like that. Like, it was a big issue. And I didn't even say anything. They just said who I was, and all of a sudden, cunts are going, what the fuck? Fuck these cunts. We can't have bacon in here. Like, you know what I mean? So I think the prisons are worried if people are going to cause, problems for him. So they just stuck him in the slot. Basically, it's a slot. And for 7 months, man. Like, and he got 2 1-hour walkouts with a couple of other prisoners. Then they cancelled him. So the guy was just in there, and all he seen was guards. That's it.
Yeah, it sounds like it was very different from my experience. Prison was easy when I was there. It's interesting that like I was there for legitimate criminal offences, what's classified as serious violent offences actually by the state of Victoria, and it sounds like I was treated much better, And Sewell's not even convicted. He was just on remand, and I was convicted, So
yeah, well, I think Sewell said that was one of the hardest parts because it's not knowing how long you're going to be in there for.
Yeah,
at least if you get a sentence, I'm going to be here for a year, etc.
Yeah,
but if you're in there,
it helps when you have a number in your head. If you're in there on remand and you don't know how long you're going to be in there, that's pretty daunting. But they break you that way. That's how they break you. They try to just do that to you for as long as possible. So you think to yourself, I'm just going to plead guilty, so I at least know when I'm getting out. So some guys.
I think that happens a lot. I think it happens a lot, man.
Yeah, it does.
Why wait? And you're not going to get paid. They'll just say time served. They're not going to say, oh, you spent 4 weeks longer than what you should have, what I was going to give you. The judge will just give you that sentence and say, that's what I was going to do. I was going to give you that much. So time served.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, what else we got? We got a protest this weekend on Saturday. What's this one? What's the deal with this one? You got any information on it, or is it just the same sort of march style thing? What's going on?
No, it's a wine tasting festival, and I think it's $400 entry, and I think each bottle costs about $2,000.
Black tie event.
Of course.
Do I have to wear a $2,000 suit? I saw that Aussie Cossack at the last protest I went to while I was getting a haircut in a park. And the reason I saw him is because he stuck out like dog's balls. He walked past me wearing some $2,000 suit and like really expensive, like Ray-Ban sunnies or something. Had a couple of guys with cameras around him and his little, Russian bride. He was just walking like this, And I yelled out to him, Cossack, sick cunt, bro. And he looked at me and smiled. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm not being serious, mate. But yeah, whatever, man. Like if you think, you film yourself getting arrested and you get 20,000 views on YouTube, you're a fucking hero.
Like don't get me wrong, he got some good videos, and I followed his stuff. Obviously, you don't really follow it. I'm always following shit like that, and I was following him. Seemed like a good guy, but the disconnect I have is when, he's got money, man. He's got money. Like, just don't make it where people have to pay. People want to see you. They want to go to the back and see you guys, but they hide away and, I don't know, man. You're just part of the people, man.
Yeah. I've always been just one of the people, man. Like that's what I've always seen myself as. Then again, I feel like a total alien, so I'm kind of got mixed feelings about that.
I remember Stella. I think I know you, Stella. I remember you. Yeah.
There you go. You got $5 now.
Dude, I don't get any money anymore. I don't get money on here. They've cancelled my account because.
Where does that money go? Where does that money go? Back to the people who donate?
I think it goes to YouTube or them. I don't know. I don't receive any money, Blair. I've told you this, man. They don't.
Yeah, right.
I go to my AdSense page, which is connected to YouTube. It doesn't exist anymore. It's like they've because some new tax thing come in where I had to sign something, and I refused to sign it because I'm like a bit of an anarchist.
Someone in criticism of me goes, "You just stay at home, Blair." What am I supposed to do? Film videos and speak some impressive words and some impressive tone to you, and then ask you for money? Fuck that. I don't really have anything to say these days, and I'm not going to ask you cunts for money. Pardon my language, but goodness me, like, you should recognize a grift when you see one. Someone's filming themselves getting arrested. Oh, send me money, please, save me. Come on, man. Wisen up to it.
Yeah, look, you don't need money, man. You don't need that much money. You don't have to.
It depends. It depends what you're doing. If you're at county court and you're fighting some precedent,
mate, just
thing,
defend yourself like me and just go to prison. It's easy.
Yeah.
I told the magistrate, mate, I'm not spending 20K on a lawyer. I'll rather just defend myself. And she says, maybe you shouldn't break the law, and it would be more cost effective.
Yeah.
I don't get what she was trying to say there, but look,
they need to be more controversial. If these freedom people want any advice, they need to be more controversial. Stop trying to be so safe. Stop trying to please everyone. Ruffle some feathers. Say something offensive. Yeah. Like, just like stop trying to be so safe, man. Like, it's just cringe. It's cringe. And
you got to break eggs to make an omelette, mate.
Yeah, but there's a difference. There's a difference between controversial and vulgar. Right? You don't need to be vulgar, but you do need to be offensive, right? So
you know what they should do?
Try to find a balance.
They should get like a mannequin and do a fake beheading outside of a council building. Do you reckon that's a good idea?
I thought it might have been a good idea about 7 years ago, but now I'm not so sure. that was this guy's idea, by the way. That was his idea, and I copped the brunt. Oh no, we both went down for it, I suppose.
No, we all went down for it, even Shorters. I'm surprised Lyndon and Farmer didn't get dragged into it. But that was a mate. Remember how many media were there at the courts every day? Like, I was looking at photos before to use photos for this stream of like me and you, and I found a photo of us walking out of court, and there's just like microphones and media when we're at the courthouse and shit. It was funny.
Good. It was funny. I don't think the mafia would have got that much attention back then.
I remember we were in court, and I was playing on my phone before the judge come out, and I was like doing stuff, and Blair was just looking at his phone like briefly. And the clerk of courts, the chick goes, "Get off your phone." She's talking to me, yeah? And I look up, and then Blair's like, "What's your problem?" Like, you thought she was talking to you, and shit, you went off.
No, I was quite calm about it. I was quite calm. Just when I speak, people assume that I'm a lot angrier than I am. I'm never really that angry. Actually, whenever I seem frustrated, mate, that's like 2% of my anger. Like, I can show you anger you've never seen before. Trust me. I'm always very much in control. That's why when people thinking Blair's losing it, I'm like, mate, you got no idea. I'm not losing. I'm never losing it. So she says to me, "Oh, get off your phone or something." I said that to you. I thought she was speaking to me. And I said, like, well, the judge isn't here yet. What, are you in charge? Aren't you just a stenographer? Don't you just type stuff? And she was like, she stares at me with these eyes, those eyes that teachers give you at school. It's like, and she goes to me, "You're not off to a good start." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stepping on the wrong toes, am I?" Like these people, everyone just wants to be important, man. Everyone wants to, there's this thing in the human ego. Everyone wants to be feared and respected, but more feared, fear me. Everyone wants to be feared, especially the teacher class of personality type, these people that go to university and get like some qualification and they end up in schools as teachers. They get off on all these kids fearing them and people being afraid of them. Like, it seems to be some sort of psychological quirk. They just like it. I don't really fear anyone, and that offends them. These people want to be feared, and when you're not afraid of them, and by these people, I mean institutional bureaucrats in the current system, whether they're teachers or professors or judges or police officers, they want you to fear them. They want you to give them that ego stroke. And when you don't fear them, they get very offended. Yeah. That's what I've found to be true anyway. I can't hear anything.
Sorry, I'm on mute. I just said before the MLRS rockets have been nerfed. They're not as strong as they used to be. But this bloke reckons we're jealous fools.
Jealous. Fuck. The last thing I want right now is to be some sort of leader of a group or movement and to have cameras on me at these fucking things. I've been there and I've done it, man. I've had the attention of the fickle mob. That's the last thing I want. Fuck this shit, man. Like, I'm just giving some constructive criticism to these people. If they want to get somewhere, if this is just some opinion from a working class bloke, fuck your VIP.
Do you know how long it took me to get like 5 days a week work? Like, Google my name, man. Like, fucking, you don't want this shit. It's insane. But I'm not trying to deter any future activists, but it is hard. It's not great.
Yeah. What do I think of Brendan O'Connell? Brendan O'Connell. Brendan O'Connell.
Remember he had a goal.
He thinks I'm a Fed, I think. I saw a video where he put a lot of effort into trying to convince people that I'm a Fed, and he presented no evidence other than the fact that I had a lot of attention and I was popular at the time. That was his evidence. I don't know the guy from a bar of soap. Never spoken to him in my life.
No, I think it come down to because he was technically the first. We were the first ones charged under the legislation in Victoria, but there's a similar legislation in Perth for racial and religious tolerance or something. He was the first one originally charged for the WA version, and I think when we got charged because we got a lot of media attention, I think he got a bit shitty. I don't mind the guy. I think I even had mutual friends with him at the time before he went to prison. But he got a bit cut because he's like, I was the first or something. But
this is petty. I've just realised this is a petty stream. This is the most I've ever talked about other people in any stream ever. I don't usually talk about other people because I just don't care enough about other people. But so this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to get me to talk about people. So if you want me to be petty, go for it. Ask me some petty questions and you'll get some petty answers. You gossiping faggots. Pardon my language. Jealous. What am I jealous of?
Not anymore.
What am I jealous of, bro?
Not anymore. So we've covered the Freedom Ball. We've covered the Thomas Sewell saga. There's a lot of questions in here about old Bluebeard. I don't know why all of a sudden. But
struggling to find work being unvaccinated. Me too. But what do you do about it, man? I don't know. I can't encourage anything illegal, meaning like fake vaccine passports or whatever. That'll just make it too easy for the government to kick my door down and put me in some jail or camp, which I assume they'll do anyway when they're ready or when they feel like they can get away with it. I'll fight to the death though, just for any bureaucrat watching this. I'd rather die than go to a camp. So just put that on your add that to my profile. I think you probably know that already if you're a Fed. But I don't know what to say about that, about struggling to find work. So cashies, friends, Gumtree, labouring work. There's plenty of businesses out there.
Gumtree, you get a lot of work in Gumtree. Like that's what kept me alive. Labouring work. Very easy to get work, Gumtree. But I'm never going to get
passports. Someone says faking vaccine passports is submission. I kind of understand that perspective. I do. I don't really know. I don't have any conclusive remarks on that, but I get what you're saying.
I heard something that people should probably know. I think it's all opened up now. I think can we go to pubs and shit now, unvaxxed?
I don't know. Why would you go to a pub anyway? To drink liquid estrogen and become a fat cunt? Why do you want to go to a pub? I remember when they were trying to get everyone to get vaccinated, that was one of their selling points. Oh, everyone, get the jab so you can go back to the pub and drink with your buddies. Fuck, imagine falling for that shit. Imagine, this is what I hate, man. I hate this like enjoy life luxury culture, this boomer consumer culture, where all anyone cares about is the next beer and the next meal and buying a jet ski or a boat or something. All anyone can think about is the next thing they can buy or the next holiday they can go on, to distract themselves from how miserable and depressed they are because they have no greater purpose. They're not doing anything with their lives that means anything. They believe in nothing. they can't look in the mirror and even feel proud of what they see staring back at them. So it's all about, what can I buy? What can I distract myself with? What's the next doodad or material thing that I can buy? I can't wait to see
Doodad.
I can't wait to see the death of this culture, man. This culture's going to die.
Who needs a jet ski, mate? I just swim.
Yeah, right.
It's better, man. It's better than
I
jet
just can't.
skis.
I want this culture to die fast. Pub culture, like fancy cocktails on beaches, chicks running around in their underwear thinking it's fucking normal. Just this like a disgusting hedonist, like atheistic culture, man. It's like it can't die fast enough. Even if communism replaces it, I'd almost be happier with that right now.
Hey, did you end up checking out? I sent it to you, that interview with Nick Fuentes and what's her face, Sydney Watson. Did you see it?
I saw like a parody video of it. I can't watch things, man. When people send me their streams and they're like, "Oh my god, watch what this guy's saying," I just can't do it. I click it and I'm like, I can't be bothered. I can't watch stuff anymore. To be honest, I never watched anyone's content. I only watched my own to make sure I wasn't slurring my words. I don't watch other people's content, but I heard about it and I saw a parody video of it, and apparently Sydney Watson just got totally embarrassed. But again, it's because she's trying to be safe. When you're trying to be safe and you're trying to toe some can't offend people line, you're always going to trip up. So you're always going to be the one on the defensive. So that's why Nick Fuentes came away probably looking like a hero, and Sydney Watson just looks like a goose.
Well, they tried to mock him, a lot of the left wing, the Young Turks and that, because he said something along the lines of, still up actually on their channel. He said, after the Americans left Afghanistan, he goes, the Afghanis beat the biggest military in the world because they didn't have women nagging them. They weren't distracted. And she's like, "Do you get along with your mother?" And she started going like, "Have you had any sexual partners?" And he's like, "I know what women are like. I'm dealing with a woman right now." He goes, "I don't want to be married for 10, 20, 30 years. He goes, I'll have a baby with a woman. But I'm not going to be married for 10, 20, 30 years with a woman nagging me." I thought it was quite funny.
That's what I'm talking about. Someone says to me, "Oh, Blair, you need anger management. Calm down." I'm not even angry. How am I angry? You think this is anger? You have not seen anger. Believe me. You know nothing. It's like, I'm passionate about what I'm saying. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's so angry." It's like, what? I seem to be like 100 times more emotional than everybody else, because this isn't anger, man. Is this anger? Is this what you think anger is? Well, I don't know. I don't know the universe other people live in.
Don't stress, man. Don't read the comments, Blair.
No, I love reading the comments.
Don't
I
get
never used to,
triggered.
but I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's right. Tell me I'm right. Tell me good job, Blair. Give me dopamine. Couldn't care less. What's next?
Mate, I'm sure when Blair's pissed off, he'll be using his gains.
Using his gains? What's the using his gains? I don't understand.
They're calling you an NPC now.
An NPC? Isn't an NPC. No, listen, I'm not. You gotta watch me. You want to see me get mad? You gotta watch me play this fucking game. I won't even tell you what game it is.
Rust.
No, not Rust. It's a game that just... I'll probably get judged if I tell you what game it is. And I'm only playing it because someone sitting here right now I love very much plays it, so I play it with her. But you want to see me get mad? A little bit.
I've seen Blair play Farming Simulator. He gets fucking... When his crops don't yield 100%, he goes off. He smashes the computer. Yeah, Minecraft.
I've never played Farming Simulator. I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, you want to see me go from like 1% to 5%? Watch me play a video game. Yeah. Solitaire. Anyway, what mic does it have? Put a snowball. This thing here. I don't know. Yeah, I'll show you. It was given to me, actually. This mic was given to me by a dear friend who now is out of the country, who I care for very much. So I love this mic. It means a lot to me. If you want to hurt me, you break this mic, it'll hurt me.
There's a lot of talk about Sherman Burgess in here too.
There's not a lot of talk at all. There's one comment. I don't see how that's a lot of talk. But yeah, we can talk about Sherman Burgess if you want. I don't know what Sherman's doing these days.
When was the last time you seen Sherman in person?
In person, probably probably October 10th, 2015 was the last time I've seen Sherman Burgess in person. At the last rally we went to, yeah, together. Before he decided he didn't like me anymore.
Yeah, but now he's done a full 180. Everyone seems to find themselves in the same pit after a while. It's I think it's a natural progression. I think. Your white man's Bible. Or some shit. Yeah.
I don't know. What else we got, guys? I'm going to check out soon. So maybe
we'll get off. I think Tim Wilm's show's coming on. So unless someone's got anything interesting to talk about, I thought we'd have. There's a guy named Tim. He runs a media organisation, but called the XYZ, and he posts a lot of articles for the XYZ.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think XYZ would take someone like Tim. Tim seems a bit effeminate for them.
Well, I don't know. That's just what I heard. Check out XYZ. Tim's a contributor there. He writes the most edgy articles.
Looks like XYZ might be going a bit soft if they're taking Tim Wills. Yeah. I'm just stirring up shit.
Tim. Yeah, Tim's from the United Nations.
David Hiscox writes some good articles. Good satire and good articles generally. It's good to have just a solid journalist, right? Just someone who's writing some news and providing some perspective. You know what I mean? We don't have a lot of that, so it's good to see. But what else have I got, man? I just want to wrap up with this, right? People, like I said earlier, people seem to be depressed, right? They seem to be down, and I don't blame them, right? I get it. Personally, I don't really feel down ever, so I don't have a lot of experience with that kind of, dilemma. But what I can tell you, man, is life is suffering. Yeah, life is suffering, and every day you're not suffering, you're getting weaker. You only get stronger in this world through struggling, through suffering, and if suffering isn't finding you, if you can't find suffering in whatever lifestyle you live, induce it. Create your own suffering. I recommend doing it through strength training, right? Put yourself through struggle, create suffering, and get stronger every day. Every day is a day that you should work to be stronger than you were the day before, better than you were the day before. If you're not doing that, you've wasted the day. Yeah. So you've got no excuse to be depressed. You've all got a lot of work to do. So tomorrow you get up and you make your diet, your training regime, you make it better than it was the day before. You do more than you did the day before. Yeah. Life is suffering. So suffer and get stronger. Works for me, man. Look at me. Yeah. But yeah, it's just.
Hey, Blair, I've got a friend. Could you give him some advice?
What friend?
I've got this friend. He spends a lot of time eating Maccas, and he plays a lot of video games like Rust. And he's having trouble dropping the weight. How would you tell him to? He's a friend of mine. He's a friend. Yeah. So
you're talking about yourself, right?
No. A friend of mine. Yeah. A friend of mine.
Diet: less wheat, less sweet, and more meat. You want to eat meat, man. You want to try to leave out gluten-based carbs like your cereals and grains and stuff like that, right? So you don't want to be eating noodles and Wheat Bix and cereal, pasta, breads every single time you eat, right? You want to leave that stuff out as much as possible, and you want to try to get the majority of your calories from meats. Eat more protein. It's going to heat your body up. It's going to make your body burn more fat. It's going to make it's going to make your guts work better. Gluten's going to clog you up. Gluten's going to screw your gut up eventually. It's all GMO. It's all genetically modified. So yeah, just remember that slogan, right? Less wheat, less sweet, and more meat. And if you're going to eat carbs, if you're going to eat wheat and stuff like that, like cereals and stuff, do it before bed. Do it before bed, because then during the night, you're giving your body the time, you're giving your guts the time to process all of that. And in the morning, you'll find that you're lighter on your feet. But your body's worked during the night to process all that. So then if you get up in the morning and you eat more cereal and more wheat, you're just spiking your insulin, clogging your guts up again, and you're going to feel like shit all day, right? You might feel like you want the wheat because it's a process. It's like, what is it? Like a habit. But leave it out. Trust me. Get up and just have eggs. Just have eggs and some meat, eggs and tuna, eggs and bacon, and have a piece of fruit if you really feel like you need some glucose energy. Have banana or apple, right? And then go through the day and keep doing the same thing. Meat, a little bit of fruit, and then you pack on the carbs during the night before you go to bed, right? If you really feel you need to. Get it out of your system, gives your gut. So like this is why people are walking around with these big bloated pregnant bellies, yeah? The reason that happens is because you're getting up in the morning and you're pushing your insulin through the roof with cereal and sugars, especially refined sugars. Anything that comes in a packet with a barcode, right? It's going to clog your gut up, it's going to swell your gut up, and it's going to skyrocket your insulin. It's going to turn off your fat burning, right? Leave that out as long as you can throughout the day, and just run on protein. And then get your carbs in at night. Gives your gut a chance to process all that. And then in the morning, you're waking up with your insulin low. You want to keep your insulin down as long as you can throughout the day. This is something that I'll talk about in more detail later, because I've learned a lot about this over the past few years.
What about here's a question from Versace. He's vegan. How would he go about getting fit and losing weight?
Is he really vegan?
Yeah, he's vegan.
Is this a troll?
No, he's vegan.
I don't know, man. I don't know. See how long vegan works for you. I tried to do it for like 6 weeks, and it made me really weak and really sick, like actually sick. So yeah, see how it goes for you. But you know, I assume you'll come to the same conclusion eventually. I don't think you should waste your time with plant-based proteins. I think if it's not coming from an animal, it's just a waste of time and money. It's my opinion.
Yeah. So you going to the protest on Saturday before we go?
Maybe we'll see. See if my girlfriend wants to go. Yeah. Anyway,
it's been a good
One more question. Am I keto? No. You don't have to cut out carbs completely in order to get your ketones up, right? Your body will still make ketones out of fats if you've kept your carbs low. So you don't need to run exclusively on ketones, right? It's important to still have glucose. Glucose is muscle fuel, right? So right now my muscles are full because they're full of glucose energy, right? So the reason they're big is because they're full of glucose, right? If I'm in keto, my body's going to eat all of my muscle energy and I'm going to string out a little bit. I'm not going to be as strong. I'm not going to have as much muscle fuel. All carbohydrates are is glucose, and all that is muscle fuel. And the reason everyone is so fat is because they're eating muscle fuel and not using their muscles. It's that simple. So you eat the carbohydrates for the glucose when you need to use your muscles, before the gym, before you're about to go for a run, before you're about to go for a ride on your bike, right? Before and after, make it work for yourself somehow. That's when you get your carbohydrate in, right? But you don't want to be eating carbohydrate when you're not using your muscles. That's how you get fat, all right? Simple.
I have a friend that vapes. What do you say about vaping?
It's gay. Vape, why do you do it? Like, why? Why vape? What's the purpose? Like I said,
it could be gay. It's trash. Yep.
Does it make you stronger? Before you do anything to your body, before you put anything in your body, whether it's, ask yourself, right, is this making me stronger? If the answer is no, then why are you doing it?
Can smoking make someone stronger? I think we've hit the rock bottom.
It's like, oh yeah, meth makes me stronger, so that's why I do it. It makes you stronger for about 6 hours, and then it makes you into a fucking skeleton, man. Like, you know, I don't need to join anything. I'm not joining anyone's group, so stop saying I should join a group. Fuck your groups. All you groups do is gossip about each other and stab each other in the back. Fucking gay as AIDS, man. Why do you think I'm not interested in groups? You people can't see past each other. You do more infighting than anything else. Fuck your groups. When you can demonstrate to me that your groups are worth something, I'll join. You don't deserve me in your groups.
I wouldn't join any group that would have someone like me as a member. I've always had that rule.
Do I have any regrets? That tattoo. I regret getting a tattoo, man. Don't do it. That is a scar. That's not even a tattoo, man. It's a scar from when I was young and dumb. All right, so one more question. Let's just do one more and I've got to get off. Could Blair defeat a crocodile in hand-to-hand combat? Next question, please. Like,
no, you got to answer. You can't skip questions, man.
Huh?
Could you defeat a crocodile in hand?
This is your chance, man. This is your chance to pick my brain. I'll be totally honest. Give me whatever you got. All right. Raw milk. Yes, I do drink raw milk. I love it. I only drink raw milk. I don't drink a lot of it. I have it with like tea and coffee sometimes, or a little bit when I eat oats. I don't often eat oats, but if I do, it's before bed for energy for the next day. And like, yeah, I'll that's when I use raw milk. So yeah.
Someone's asked here, will you join Cook's Convicts?
Huh?
Will you join Cook's Convicts?
Cold pressed milk, yes, also good stuff. Much better than supermarket milk. If you can find that made by cow, cold pressed milk, good stuff. Why aren't I in it? Is your ego too big? Yes, I have a monstrous ego. I have a good relationship with my ego, though. I'm aware of it, and it's aware that I'm aware of it. So it's an interesting dynamic. Took me a long time to figure my ego out, but I went through a lot to actually discover how much influence it had over me.
Hey,
I had to go to jail. I had to go to jail before I figured out how much my ego was running my life. So yeah.
I got a question. Do you ever get sick of doing weights sometimes? Like, do you ever go through a phase like for a week where you just get lazy and you don't want to do it?
You mean weights?
Yeah, like you know how you've got a system. Do you ever like slip and kind of get a bit lazy for a week or so?
No.
Never. So you're always.
Like, I've got too much energy. I've got too much energy. If I don't train, I turn into a real prick. Looking for arguments and fights to start and shit. So I use strength training or weightlifting to literally sedate myself. Yeah. What's your plan of action if the society collapses in the next 5 years? Survive any way I can. That's my plan of action. Survive any way I can. I don't know what to do other than that, man. Protect the people I love. Survive any way I can. That's it.
In a post-apocalyptic world, would it be better to be on the run, or would it be better to have kind of a farm and stay put?
Move around. Yeah, move around. Take as few people as possible with you. Yeah, I'd move around. What's my thoughts on when I was doxxed? I've never really tried not to get doxxed. I was never trying to hide my identity in the first place, so I don't really know what the feeling is. Ricardo Bossi, I know nothing about him. Nothing. I haven't even looked up anything about him. That's how interested I am in the goings-on of the world right now. So, like, yeah, I don't know anything about Ricardo Bossi. I'm going to let you guys go. It's been good, and I'll catch you all again at some stage. Yeah. But thanks for having me on. I hope that you got something out of what I said. And yeah, my aim, I suppose, is to try to provide just a bit of have an uplifting effect on people, man. Because like I seem to never be upset or anything, and everyone else around me seems to be. So I just want to help people feel a bit better about themselves and about the situation, right? Because it really isn't that bad. It's bad, right? But you got to shrink your world. And at the end of the day, you got to still be able to have faith in yourself and self-confidence, right? So that's what I want to try to provide to people from here. Just a bit of self-confidence, faith in oneself, something I've never really lacked personally. So hopefully I can, pass that on. Anyway, good on you, Neil. Thanks.
But you ignored one very important question, though.
What's that?
Would you defeat a crocodile barehanded in hand-to-hand combat?
Probably not. I mean, let's be honest. Probably not. I don't know, man. What is this?
Hey, if you went back in time to when James Cook got killed, did you get killed by Cook Islanders or Hawaiians? Which one was it?
All right, I'm going. I love you all. Bye.
See you, Blair.
Bye.
Catches. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm ending broadcast.